in the greater Houston community, from Texas, and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with
Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information. All intellectual property rights related to this program, including but not limited to copyrights, trademarks, and other proprietary rights, are the property of Lawin Media Network or their respective owners. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or use of any content from this program is prohibited.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to our 5th episode of our show, Be Bold.
Why not?
This is MJ.
And this is Atala.
Magandang gabi again to the viewers in the Philippines.
Bienvenidos a todos los que nos están viendo de Latinoamérica. Bienvenue les personnes qui aussi se trouvent maintenant pour peut-être la France aussi.
Wow, that's amazing. How are you, Atala? Anyway, before we start chatting with each other, we would like to again announce our winner for our last week's show. Okay, it's Jewel Bacani. Jewel, if you're watching right now, make sure to let us know how you want your prize to be sent to you, okay? And of course, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. And
also stream.lawin.live.
Yes, so watch us and make sure you stay for the rest of the show, because as we've been doing, we're going to have questions that if you are watching or listening, if you know the answer, then you will win a prize. The first person that will give us the right answer will win a prize. So
you have to stay connected, ask some questions, feel free, because that's why we are here for all of you.
Yes, that is correct. So Atala, how are you? How was your week?
Honestly, that was beautiful. That was intense. I just came this morning from Mexico. I left Mexico around 6 o'clock in the morning, so I have to be at the airport 4 o'clock. So it was amazing. It was very good. I really enjoyed. Went to see my son actually playing. You know, so it was great atmosphere. He was very happy, supportive. So it was very worth it. What about you?
That's nice. It's like, what a coincidence. Your son had a game.
Yes.
My daughter had a dance convention. They call it Dance Mania. So,
oh, wow.
And they were both in the show about a couple of weeks ago, right?
That's right.
So that's amazing. Both our kids, yeah. So she did pretty well too. My daughter, she did really great. You know, she has not danced in a while during summertime. She took a little break, but she still did pretty well.
But you know, that's very nice, because when they do something that they love, that's contagious. Also, they, at least to me, it's like discipline, but also when I see him and they feel like, my God, I mean, what a discipline and passion for the football in this case.
Oh, yes. Passion really drives people to do what they love to do, and it makes them feel good.
That's what we're here.
Yes,
that's what we're here to.
Yeah, I know, right? This is our passion. We just want to really be, helpful to our viewers. We hope you get some wisdom from the topics that we bring to you. And tonight, it's quite,
it's a very interesting topic.
Very interesting. We're not there yet, but
you know what? It's very interesting because sometimes we do not prepare in advance for events that they will happen regardless, sooner or later. And this is one of them.
Yes, that is correct. And it's one of the biggest thing or event in a person's life. And I said earlier that we're not there yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
believe it or not.
Yes, yes. And it's good to know that we're going to be in that stage because that means that as we went through the different phases of life, retirement is a part, like the culmination, right?
That's true.
It's a culmination of your life. So I know it sounds simple and easy, but it's not. That's why we're here.
Huge change in your life, just
Mhm.
thinking about your work for
Mhm.
50, 40,
Mhm.
such a number of years, and suddenly like, now what am I gonna do?
Mhm.
A lot of people truly go through a lot of emotional
Mhm.
turmoil because it's like you get so used to certain activities, wake up in the morning, get ready, driving the same way, talk to the same people, do the same activities for such a long period of time, and suddenly like it's not there anymore. So
Yes.
that's a shock for me.
Yeah, it's a difficult transition for a lot of people, or for common. I mean, it's common that we have to go through that transition, but we can prepare for it. That's why we're here, right? But do you think, Atala, you're ready? Like you'll be ready? Or what's your goal
To
of?
me, I think I'm very active. I don't see myself just retirement and do nothing. I always want to try to add value to people, maybe volunteer, do something, be active, be, of course, traveling. But that's my vision, right? I mean, sometimes you have a vision for something and maybe life tells you something different. But at least that's how I see myself, always adding value to people because that's made me happy as well.
Yeah, and
What
same
about you?
same here. I'm not quite ready yet, but of course everybody dreams of retiring early, right? But it doesn't mean that when you retire, that's it. No, it's not. Retirement can be a new beginning.
So true.
Yeah,
I
it
love
can be a
that
new
because
beginning. So I'm not quite there, but I'm excited to get there because, as Atala had said, we will be able to do a lot of things once we're retired. I know it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment because we're so used to our routine of getting up early in the morning, getting ready for work, and then coming home and all that. And we know we're not going to be there anymore, but there's still going to be a lot of things that we can do, that we can enjoy. But of course, for tonight, we're going to talk a little bit of some of the challenges of being a retired person or retired individual. So we can help you get prepared. And some of you might already going through some of these challenges.
I
And
think, let me just kind of mention this. I think retirement is like a new beginning, as you mentioned, totally. And it could be like a new adventure if you think about it. But we need to consider also that sometimes we block opportunities because in those cases, we don't see clearly. At least I'm talking from experience, like, maybe people that I know, family members that maybe they are between the 70 something, people that they are even now 80, 82 years old, they lose a husband or they lose their wife, or sometimes maybe they go through a lot of emotional challenges, because they are still losing friends. And that's also affecting what they want to do in life.
yeah, and also that at that retirement stage, you can have like a new purpose in life too. I mean, it's like now you have the time. If you have the resources, then you can now do whatever you've always wanted to do, like continue a purpose driven life because you have the luxury of time. And if you have the resources, then by all means, leave that because retirement is, we're getting close to the end of life and we're all gonna get there, but we got to enjoy that last part of our life, right? So we can say when we go, yes, I've lived a purposeful life.
And I will tell you something, and maybe it's nothing very close to where we're talking, but somebody told me one day, it was a patient, very wise person, 80 something. And he said, can I tell you something? When you have time to travel, travel. Don't wait until you become like, I'm going to be retired, because later on, maybe you have the money, but you don't have your health.
Yes.
So do it when you are able to do it. Never wait until 10, 15 years, because you never know how life will change.
Yes. So now we're actually talking a little bit now in bits and pieces about these challenges that we're talking about. But one of our questions will be, what are the most common challenges of retirement? And I think let's dig deeper into the challenges of finances. Why do you think that is one of the most, or actually strongest or heaviest challenge of being a retired person? Why do you think so,
I can think would be
Atala?
several factors. Sometimes maybe depends of your culture. Maybe you want to continue helping your kids. Like I will tell you, in Latin America, at least in Mexico, I mean, your kids can be 30, 40 years old, and your parents they will always support you no matter what. So maybe that will be one of the issues. Sometimes maybe it could be like, I mean, suddenly you start getting sick, and you start having more appointments, doctor appointments or treatments, and maybe you don't have insurance. Many people go like that. My father got ill, unfortunately. He didn't have insurance, and we were going to doctors, appointments, treatments, and that was very, very expensive. So many people don't have insurance. That would be a major, I mean,
yeah, it's one of the major challenges.
Yes,
and of course,
definitely.
it's basically because you've worked all your life, so you have income coming in every month, right? And then you suddenly stop working, so you lose your source of finances. So that could be too. And because maybe you did not prepare early for retirement, like you don't have enough savings, you don't have enough in your retirement account, and then things happen. It's just like what Atala had said, as we get older, we get more sick, and there's medical bills there, we have kids that we want to support and continue to support. So that's where the challenge comes, and then we have to hire caregivers to take care of us when we get sick. So
that you mentioned,
yeah,
that's very expensive. I have a very good friend of mine, is 83 years old. She just recently had a surgery, knee surgery, and she told me that is amazing. You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars in daycare. I mean,
yes,
like, not daycare, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry what I'm thinking about.
like in assisted living or not daycare.
In nursing,
yeah.
in nursing.
Nursing homes
Yes,
too.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. So a couple of weeks, thousands of dollars. Think about it.
Yeah, and if you don't have enough money in your retirement, they say there's social security benefits, but we hear a lot. I mean, we hear a lot from people out there, even our own patients, that they cannot even retire because the social security benefits are not enough. There's disability, there's social security, there's Medicaid for
Medicare.
those that are of low income and all that. But I mean, it's not enough. So that's why financial burden is actually one of
Yes.
the major challenges of getting into retirement. Now that makes me a little bit scared.
Don't think too much about the future, and enjoy your present. That's important too.
That's right. That's right. And then that's why you said earlier, while you're young, you got to travel. As long as you have the means, do it, right?
Do it.
Yeah, because once you start getting sick and spending all this money for your medical bills, and unfortunately and sadly, people even go bankrupt because of medical bills.
I remember one case, somebody from another country, I was assisting them, actually from Italy, and that was amazing. I mean, very wealthy family, but in less than 6 months, it was amazing that amount of money that they had to just pay for, I mean, doctor appointments, treatment. And actually they told me, Atala, we were doing very well financially, but we never thought that this event will totally, I mean, put us in different direction. And you feel the pain, because not just the physical pain, emotional pain is, everything is very intense, especially when you go to another country in this case, and you see the cost of living is very high as well.
Yeah, that's why, we Filipinos, we have a retirement plan, right? We go home to the Philippines because, it's cheaper to really go to the Philippines. Oh, we have somebody greeting us from the Philippines. Good morning from a Facebook user. Actually, you know what? I think before we continue on again, we should go for a break. And it's like, wow, it just went by so fast. The first 15 minutes of the show.
You don't feel it when you enjoy it.
That's right. So we'll be back in a minute for a break. Thank you again for tuning in or watching us live. And of course, please give us shout outs, or if you have any questions, feel free to participate in the show, and we'll do our best to answer them. Right. And again, if you are watching and listening, we are giving you the questions that we're going to be asking or looking for answers from you. And if you are the first person to give your correct answer, you will get a prize. Yeah. Oh, the Facebook user that actually made a comment is Myra. Hi, Myra.
Hi, Mara.
She's Mara's godmother. Hello, Mare. Thank you for watching. And please share this, okay? Encourage more people to watch us. We're doing this every Monday.
And especially we're doing it for you. That's the most important thing. We're
Yes.
here to serve you, to really kind of connect with you,
Mhm.
and to listen to your concerns as well. So we may not know everything, but we will be for sure looking forward to find answers that they will help you and guide you in certain moments in your life.
That's right. So we have talked about, financial burden or the challenge
Mhm.
of finances during retirement. And it is true, one of the major challenges. But another major thing that people really go through during retirement is
Health,
yes.
definitely. That's major.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I really believe, in those moments, it's not only affecting, in this case, the person who's going to retire, but
Mhm.
it's hurting or affecting the whole family.
Mhm.
I also had the opportunity, and I say opportunity because I learned a lot
Mhm.
through the illness of my father last year.
Mhm.
And it was unpredictable. Expenses went to the roof. Situation and the moment start looking for doctors and hospitals, and it was very stressful,
Mhm.
but I was very thankful that through the experience that I have at the hospital prepared me to face those moments with
Mhm.
more peace. But it's not easy in any area, financially, emotionally, physically, not at all.
Yes, yes. And I have few friends that my parents died young, so they didn't really get to that retirement age because my mom, as I said, died at the age of 49 and my dad was like 56. But I have few friends who had experienced that they had to take care of their ill parents because at that age, like between 70 to like 90, that's when a lot of people start getting sick. And there are even parents or old people there that they weren't sick their whole life. Like they were pretty healthy.
That's
Yes, and
several times
unfortunately,
happened.
yes,
Mhm.
and unfortunately, I mean, at the age of 70s, 80s, they suddenly get diagnosed with cancer, which is it's
Mm.
very sad. It's very debilitating. And as you said, it's not only hard on the person who's sick, but it's hard on the families too.
Yes, it's just like honestly, like something suddenly everything stopped. You don't know
Mhm.
how to act or how to react actually, because emotions are emotions, and
Mhm.
even though you try to stay calm, of course, it's a moment in where you have to make decisions, and then sometimes it's also financial decisions, emotional decisions. Where to go, what is the best place, what is the best treatment.
Mhm.
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, and not only that, sometimes it also becomes a source of conflict
Yes, that's
among
another
yeah
important.
among the children or
Mhm.
among the family members because some people want the treatment to be here, or some people they have like they don't uh, have the same ideas, or they're not on the same page on how they're going to go through all this. And sometimes because we work in the hospital
Yeah.
both, and it's sad that there are we have patients out there that they don't even have families, and
You
that's the
mentioned two
saddest part.
important things. One,
Yeah.
when many times you see the conflict between the family members.
Mhm.
Everybody is going through emotions, but at the same time, there is no harmony
Mhm.
because everybody is reacting with
Yes.
fear most of the time toward
Mhm.
the unknown, which is very normal. And
Mhm.
sometimes, instead to just divide it, we have to unify
Mhm.
because also the patient is feeling those emotions, believe it or not.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that's a very common issue. And the other thing that you mentioned, like many times they are by themselves, no
Yes.
family members
Mhm.
around them.
Mhm. And I think one of the biggest thing that really affects the whole family dynamic, that a sickness that is affecting a lot of our, our retirees or seniors is dementia.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very debilitating, and it's very sad because some people, they worked all their lives, they were active, they were like, they had great jobs, and then when dementia hits and they have that kind of illness, they just lose themselves.
Yes.
They don't even know their own selves anymore. They don't know their families. So that's very sad, and it's very,
And it's very, very traumatic for
yeah,
the family,
yes,
for the
yes.
kids, because they remember that person being active, like interacting and
Mhm.
having their own conversations and memories and all those things. And suddenly the person is like, doesn't even remember who the person is. Not
Yes.
their names, no one thing. And that's a very shocking moment for the family as well.
Mhm. And also it affects safety, because they don't know what they're doing. They're not in their right minds. They can fall anytime, or they can set the house on fire,
Yes.
or they can just go out on the streets. And so it's just too much for, if you have a retiree would get some kind of a dementia or like a disease like
And
that.
dementia,
Yeah.
I think the other one, unfortunately, is cancer, because
Mhm.
you hear it more and more often, like
Mhm.
cancer, this person got cancer, and sometimes it's not just like the word by itself is big, believe it or not.
Yes.
Like you hear like cancer and people say, I have. So people own cancer,
Mhm.
and that start everything else. Start people, families start really getting very, very, not just emotionally drained, which is
Mhm.
true, but also financially drained. Because
Mhm.
when you don't have insurance, that's super expensive. I
Mhm.
have seen cases, and I'm sure you too, where unfortunately patients cannot afford the treatment. It's
Mhm.
very, very sad and very difficult. What
Mhm.
you can do with a patient that cannot afford the treatment? What are you going to do in those cases?
Yeah.
And that happens
Mhm.
quite often, unfortunately.
Yes, and it's just not happening here in America, because healthcare here is, even like, most people have healthcare, but unfortunately worse in other countries, like the third world countries. Like, not even during retirement. Some people outside of the United States, they get sick, and even early on, and they cannot afford treatment, and they just wait pretty much to pass because they can't afford. Well, that's very unfortunate. But for our retirees, yes, when they are in that stage where they're sick, their kids already have their own lives. They don't have people that can take care of them. For some of these retirees, and then if they have to go to an assisted living or a community or a nursing home, it costs money. So
But
it's,
that's another thing that you just mentioned, because
yeah.
I have heard a lot of the times that also depends on the culture.
Mhm.
In our culture in Mexico,
Mhm.
you don't take your parents to a retirement house or a
Mhm.
place in where they're gonna even have friends with the same age or nothing. No, your parents stay with you at home, and you take care of them for the most part.
Yes, and it's the same in the Philippines. We have some similarities in our culture. I mean, it's like our kids, they can stay in the house for as long as they want. Like, even if they have their families now, they can still. And then our parents, when they get older, we take care of them. So it's the same
It's
thing.
pretty
Yeah.
much the same, yes.
Yeah.
And we want to invite you. If you have any comments and ideas, if you are going through maybe retirement, or maybe you have a father or mom that are planning to retire, please just write your comments, ask any questions, because we are here to help you and serve you.
Yes, and we have a comment from Evelyn Tuazon Rivero. Thank you so much, from Houston, Texas. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Evelyn.
Yes. And another
Also,
comment.
watching from the Philippines, what are some key factors to consider when planning retirement? Hi, Cello.
Shell.
Oh, Shell.
Yeah, Shell De Seco. All right. Well, I think we're gonna actually get to that whenever we're the last segment of our show. We're gonna give some solutions or ways how to cope with the challenges of retirement. But just to answer that quickly, I think it's important. It doesn't mean that retirement is like you only prepare when you're close to it. It's good to prepare for retirement early on.
It's a journey.
Yes, because it's a journey. It's like it's not set to like I'm gonna start when I'm this. The earlier you prepare for your retirement, the better you'll be.
And you know,
Yes.
you mentioned something important. I think retirement is just preparation, not just financial preparation, mentally, emotionally, physically, because also you have to keep yourself busy and active. In that way, when that moment comes, you're gonna be more prepared.
That's right. And again, another comment from Shell Deseco. Any tips for retirement strategies and their potential benefits? As we said, we're going to discuss that towards the end of the show. But again, we're going to repeat. Our first question is, what are the most common challenges of retirement? If you can name one or two, however many you want to name, the first person that will give us the right answer will get a prize.
Then also give at least one way to cope with the challenges of retirement. We're gonna give more than one for sure.
Yeah, and that's the second question. Okay, the coping mechanisms or coping strategies, which what's her name? Michelle already asked. But anyway, going back to the challenge of health during retirement, because that's what we're talking about right now.
What do you think people can prepare? Again, we're not talking about just financially. Financially is something that we all know. We have to save money, put in retirement and then maybe investments and maybe real estate, you name it. But besides that, emotionally part is very important. I mean, from there, you can be able to actually cope better with any illness, I mean, prepare your immune system to be as stronger as possible. To have a healthy mentality is important as well because that's help your body.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, whatever we put inside our body, we have to make sure that they are clean and pure and healthy. Because it's like we get ill because we don't take care of ourselves. So I think that's very important that we have to take care of our health. We have to focus on wellness, doing our best. I know it's not easy and it's nothing is perfect in this world. We still have all kinds of, like, for example, if you're taking your vitamins, if you're taking enough nutrients in your food, if you're exercising, if you have a healthy lifestyle, then I mean it will prepare you for a better health also when you get older. My grandma, she's my grandma's cousin, but I consider her like real grandma. She's 91 and she barely gets sick. You know what? She eats a lot of vegetables.
That's what I'm gonna say. Maybe
Yes.
it's the nutrition.
Yes.
But the nutrition was different before. I think it was more healthy
Mhm.
and different way. To cultivate even the vegetables, to prepare the meals. Now in these days, you see that even that you think that you're eating very healthy, not
Yeah.
necessary. But I think that's important. Did you look at the trend? A lot of senior people between 80, 85, many is still looking stronger because lifestyle was different. My father, he passed away when he was 92. And until that day, he was having a great memory, amazing memory. And always wake up early in the morning, go to work. I remember MJ, when he was not feeling good, he always decided to go and work, regardless of the situation. So he was always, there, ready to say, no, I can stay at home. I need to keep myself active. And that was also his maybe way to cope in many areas.
Yes, and there's a lot of ways. So, but before we go back to answering all those questions, we're gonna go on a break so we can come back and continue.
Enjoy the program.
Yeah, and continue chatting. It's really very interesting. I mean, it's like 30 minutes has passed, so let's go on a break.
an intentional showcase. It's not just like another art thing. I love the actual intention behind it and how it has evolved every year. I also felt like I was like, these are my people, and I got to meet so many people, and as well as discovering new artists to connect with. I also think that it's important to be plugged into community as well. So I don't know. It's like you get to engage in the art, you get to contribute to the art, and it's just this kind of energy that keeps mirroring back and forth into this like creative haven of like, and you feel like less overwhelmed, like you're not alone in whatever you're creating, because creating can be a very solitary process. So I mean, if there's any other good reason to celebrate, is that we are here and we are rising. So I think I'm really excited about this one.
Yes, well, we're back. We're back, and yes, please watch Lumika. Okay, it's gonna be great. I'll be there. So come and watch. And September 23rd, right? Yes. Okay, yeah. So it's getting very interesting. So two things that we already have talked about: financial burden and then sickness or health issues. Those two major challenges during retirement. And there's tons and there's a lot of challenges, but I think these two are very
Critical.
critical.
Yes.
Yes, it's very true. But there's also another thing. This one is kind of very emotionally heavy if we think about it. Just thinking about it is it's really breaks my heart, but it's part of life. And unfortunately, during retirement, that's when you really get to experience, losing more of your loved ones,
Yes.
friends. I mean, it's tough because we're at that stage in life where, yeah, we're gonna go through that, and unfortunately, we have to witness sometimes um, the passing of people
Yes.
that we care about.
Let me share with you, like my mom right now is 83 years old. She has several friends and they get together. Most of them, unfortunately, they have lost their husbands. So that means that sometimes it's very hard, after spending 50, 60 years together with your loved one, what do you do then? You have to really have a lot of inner strength, a lot of courage to keep going in life because it's not easy. It's an inner battle. And sometimes you have to really kind of continue feeding that mind, that heart. In my case, I try to talk to my mom quite often because I know sometimes emotions are emotions and you can never ignore those emotions. You have to acknowledge them, but at the same time, you must help that person to not focus only on the pain, but also connecting her or him with their own stories of life because there is beauty in each one of them. But that's a major transition when they start losing their loved ones, their friends. It's really like in their minds, like maybe I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna be next. That's something that is the weight of thinking, and it's very, very critical because emotionally, when you are not feeling as strong, when you're feeling like all these emotions, it takes away your part of your present moment.
Yes, and it's hard. It's even harder, I think, and I believe, if you are on that stage where some of your family members or your friends are starting to pass, and you did have good relationship with them, that you're gonna like you're regretting. You have that regret in your heart that you didn't have a good relationship with those people. That even makes it harder.
I think it's very important, and this is something I always, we're talking a lot about little tips here and there, recommend, create harmony with the person, that maybe is in your mind, in your heart. Like, this is the opportunity to forgive. Why? Because that will give you freedom and peace of mind. And actually, for example, I have seen with patients, that sometimes they have some maybe no the healthy relationship with maybe daughter or son or wife or husband, unbelievable. When you are able to connect them, to really help them to forget, to unify them, there is beauty, there is healing. And that's part of adding value to people. Most of the time that happen, and I believe it's very important. In that way, if you need to, for whatever reason, you need to leave this world, you're gonna be at peace.
Yes, redeem yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, redeem yourself from the hurt. Because I mean, we only live once, right? We only live once, and we are the driver. I know God is there to guide us and everything, but we have choices. We have the free will. We have
And
the
that's
free will
actually not even for
to choose.
retirement to
Yeah.
do it now. If you have
Yes.
somebody actually that you need to forgive, if you want to forgive, don't procrastinate. It's not worth it, believe me.
Yes, yes, and you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better. And sometimes you say, yeah, you have forgiven people, but then sometimes you can't forget what they do. But the important thing is you have done your part. I think that's the best thing. As long as you've done your part, you're good. But anyway, going back again, of course, to the losing of loved ones and family and all that. I mean,
Let me tell you something to share with you. For example, my mom, sometimes she told me, I feel very sad because I'm looking at all my friends and they already lost their husbands. So, and some of them, they lose, some of my friends, they have lost mom and dad in the 80s. So that's something that is happening more and more often. So how do you help somebody who's going through all those emotions, for example? What could be your strategic or technique or recommendation? Because that is happening.
I think during those moments where they are going through that grieving process, I think the first thing is we have to give them the space, because when they go through that, it's like there's different stages. Like you're still in denial, like you can't believe this is happening, and then you have to take time to absorb what's going on, to actually accept. But once you have accepted that, and then you're open for people now to give you support. So I think we have to give that person that space to actually realize that this is happening in their life. And I think the hardest part too is like parents seeing their children go first. I mean,
that's very hard.
That's very hard.
Very hard.
Yes, yes. So I think that's even harder.
They always think they're gonna go first. They're gonna be, yes. My mom lost my brother, and I remember to go through that journey. That was 2 years to understand that process.
Yes, yes.
But now going back, like maybe something else that I learned that is very important to doing during the grieving process is like when a person passes away, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, doesn't matter. Always remember them with love and gratitude. These two elements take away the pain, believe it or not, because you are not just thinking about the person is not present. You are not lucky. Thinking about the lack of that person, the empty space of that person physically. You are actually connecting with love. Love's energy heals also, but also with gratitude for being in your life.
Yes, and that's when you actually show more faith, because now you have them. Your connection is like more in the heart, like it's deeper. They may not be there physically, but they're there in your heart. I've lost my parents really young, so even now up to this point, when I remember them, I still feel sad. I wish they were still here and they see what we have become as their children. But that's just life. We all come to that stage. Guys, we're talking about
another topic. But it's because it happened.
Yeah, yeah. We have to be realistic.
Believe it or no, something that we cannot ignore, right? But at the same time, I honestly think that when you embrace that specific loss of a loved one with love and gratitude, at least I apply. That's what I'm sharing with you. It really helped you. to not just deny the pain, but don't focus in the pain. Focus in the gratitude. You have the person that leave you with so much experiences and maybe beautiful memories and maybe a lot of knowledge. So that's a legacy for you. Continue that legacy. Continue honoring that person. Somebody told me one day the best way to honor somebody is by living, and I believe so.
Yes, yes. Because, and the same time, if they were sick, I mean, it's like you just have that comfort in your heart that now they're not suffering.
That's right.
Yes, that they're not suffering no more. And we have some comments.
Yes.
We can see where is.
Embrace
okay.
them.
So no,
Yeah.
it's just a quote, yeah, from Atala, which is good. Yeah, so that's really important to be prepared of, because everybody gets there. And people say if you are content with your life, you're ready. It's like, because death is like a thief in the night, right? So we never know when it's gonna happen. We never know. Mostly it happens during retirement age. That's why we're talking about retirement today. But even any day of our lives it can happen. But most importantly, at least we know that at retirement, if we're prepared, like for example, we're both, like as I said, we're not there yet, but we'll be there soon. But we can make our lives better. And if that time happens that it's going to be time for us to pass, then if we're ready, if we've done what we love to do, if we have loved people, if we've enjoyed our life, if we done everything that we wanted to experience in life, then we will be ready.
That's what is important, to do what you love today, to never procrastinate anything for the next few years, because at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed in this life. But the only thing that you have is truly your present. It's important to be expressive, to love your family, to do your best in your work, to be creative with your time, with your resources, because that's what you have. And that's important. Never, never take it for granted. I always tell people, what you have in front of you is the most valuable thing, the most precious things.
That's right. And we have to find joy in everything, in every little thing. Sometimes those little things, they matter
Become
more than the big
one.
things, because that's where things start. They start small, become big. So if we know how to treasure the small things, the small moments with our families, then anything is possible.
And from there is those memories. Those memories are special because if you have children, your parents are old, you know what you can do? Reconnect them with those beautiful moments. You know what they're going to do? You're going to bring well-being. You're going to improve their health. Why? Because that's the moments where you're also going to kick your serotonin, your dopamine, your oxytocin, all those things that
your good hormones.
And that's very, very important.
Yes, your good hormones will keep reproducing if we keep those positive spirit, positive vibes. And that's very true. And again, we would like to repeat the questions. The first question that we asked earlier is, what are the most common challenges of retirement? And the second question, we haven't talked about it yet. We've been talking about it here and there, but of course, what is one way, or what are the coping strategies that we can do for these challenges? So if you can name this, answers to these questions, then, and the first one to do it will be the winner.
You will be the winner.
Yes, yes. So I think we have another comment from a Facebook user. Glad that I was able to catch up the show today, as the topic is really interesting. We all don't want to retire sad, so we really got to be prepared.
That's an attitude,
Yes.
Attitude is important. Believe it or not, that will change your perspective. That will, make you be more creative with your resources, with your time, And that's a moment in where, after so many years, you have been serving in many different ways. You have so much wisdom.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about the strategies to cope with these challenges in the last part of the show, which is gonna be after the break. We're gonna go on a break now. All
We
right,
will
see
see you.
you. Welcome back. Oh my God, we're now at the end of the
It's
show. I mean, the
amazing.
last
Time
part.
is
I know,
flying.
time just flies so
But
fast.
this is a very interesting
Yes.
topic, honestly.
Yes, yes. And remember, we thought that we won't be able to pull it because we're not there
There
yet.
yet.
But we still already have gathered this wisdom just with interacting with other people, just
And that's
knowing,
the best
yeah,
way, you know?
yes.
Always be ready to listen because
Mhm.
you learn so much from a person for a
Mhm.
simple conversation. It's like a open books.
That's right. That's right. And then people in the retirement age, they are like they have all the wisdom in the world. So if you need some advice, if you need some encouragement, if you need somebody to talk to, they are the best people to talk to because they
That's
have,
right.
yeah, they have gained all the wisdom in the world.
I never lost the
Yes.
opportunity to talk to somebody, you know,
Mhm.
because to me, it's like literally like reading a book. So you're
Mhm.
listening, you're connecting, you are
Mhm.
actually interacting, and there is so much beauty there.
Yeah.
And again, wisdom.
Yes, yes, they have gained all the wisdom now. So now we're going to talk about, of course, the strategies, right? How do we cope? How do we cope with this challenges in retirement? Like, for
This
example,
life
the finances.
transition.
Yeah, like the financial one, because it's a major thing. What do you think, Atala? What can we
Well,
do?
I think it's gonna be really like about try to look for some assistant, maybe some financial advisor that can help you, that can start guiding you, you know, where to invest. Also, start really saving money. Believe it or not, it's something that based on the economy, sometimes we just go, you know, like many people day by day. But there is a reason why it's important to save money as well for any emergency, for retirement, for vacation, you name it. You never know how life's gonna hit you, right? So
Yes.
at least you are more prepared, you're gonna feel more at peace.
That's right. And as they said, you start early. As long as you start early, the young people, as long as you get a job, take advantage of the retirement benefits that your company is offering. Make sure you are following like a budget, like you have budget for your expenses, you have budget for leisure, you have budget for retirement. So learn to do these things early on and you're set. You're going to be set for retirement. They say that no matter how little you're saving, if you start early with compounding, like it's gonna grow and
I
you'll
think
be,
it's a habit,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Think, evaluate your habits, spending habits, saving habits.
Mhm.
And if you don't like where you're seeing right now, you can always change it. Never is too late, but it's consciousness.
That's right. That's right. So be conscious and start early to prepare for retirement. At the same time, though, don't overdo it. That because you want to retire really good and you're preparing for retirement,
But
you're not enjoying the present.
Yes.
That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is enjoy your life while you're here. Like enjoy the present, but also be mindful of what you're
Yes.
saving for the future.
And something else also, create a mindset of abundance. That's important. Believe it or not, when you have this kind of mentality, you're gonna be very creative with your resources, and you're not gonna be afraid of enjoy it or invest in something that make you happy. You know, one day I was talking with a doctor, and he said, "I love my parents because we were like 10 kids, and they always gave us the best. Now that I am a father, I understand the meaning of sharing, of giving, of nourish that mentality of abundance. That's very important."
That's right. And if you are generous to other people, Oh my God, you'll never know. If you bless others with the blessings that you have, there's always going to be people out there who's going to support you.
Definitely.
Yes, especially your children. If you nurture them and you show them love and teach them, when you need them in the future, when you retire, they're going to be there for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's
Whatever
very,
you
yeah.
cultivate in others, sooner or later you're gonna receive in life.
Okay, we actually have all right, Mayra
Winner.
Perez Gonzalez. Yeah, her answer to the first question: financial health issue and losing friends and loved ones are mostly the challenges of retirement.
You got
it right. You
Yes.
nailed it. You nailed it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, that's really cool. All right, so now, so for the financial challenge, as again we were gonna recap. Prepare early, talk to your financial advisor and see if you're on track with your retirement.
Start saving.
And start saving and and enjoy life at the same time. Okay? We don't want you to lose that opportunity to have fun just because you are so focused just on your retirement. But
can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Also, for example, if you invest in anything that makes you happy, that will give you generate more creativity and energy to be more productive in your life. So that's important.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. So now, what about the issues on health? How do we cope with that?
Honestly, I will say if you have the opportunity, if you don't have insurance, go ahead and get one. Believe it or not, at a certain age, you start going more to doctor's appointments and suddenly you start having, maybe more tests and maybe some treatments. So that's very important. If you want to invest in something, invest in your health insurance. Very important.
That's very true. Because it's something that when you need it, you got to have it.
That's right.
Because otherwise, as we have said earlier, people even go bankrupt because of medical bills. They lose their houses, they lose their properties. I mean, it's pretty sad when we're not prepared and we start getting sick at the age of retirement. I mean, unfortunately we lose everything.
And sometimes based on the country also, in some countries maybe it's not very common to have health insurance, but things are changing. So you have the opportunity, still to invest in something that maybe is not gonna, bring you some peace of mind in the future. Health insurance will.
And for you. Of course, healthy lifestyle.
Yes, that's another one.
That's the basic. I mean, that's the basic. Yes. It's like you have to take care of your health. You have to continue exercising, staying active, and connecting with people in the community. I mean, there's tons of activities. Like there are seniors.
Volunteer.
Volunteer. I mean, there's senior programs everywhere. Take advantage of those.
Remember that you mentioned very important thing here. Your well-being is non negotiable at any age, no matter if you are 20, 30, 50, 80, or 90 years old. I love what you say, connection. When you talk to somebody, to friends, you start develop this also hormones of happiness that you needed. But also when you are active, when you are exercising, I meet some people like they are between 80, 85, and I love to see them active, waking up early in the morning, swimming, going to the gym, sometimes volunteering in different hospitals. It's beautiful to see them because you learn from them.
That's right. And continue exercising your mind. Like we play like crossword puzzles. I see a lot of those patients that we have in the hospital. They bring their puzzle book and that's what they're doing. I mean, like, take care of your health and you're never too old to continue enjoying life, right? And playing games, dance.
Listen to the music, go for a walk in the park, talk to a friend. So many little things that they are important and available to each one of you.
That's right. I have a friend actually. I mean, she doesn't look her age at all because she is so active. She's so active in the community, everything. She joins galas, she goes to retreats, she goes to concerts, she does Zumba.
I love that.
Yes. So yeah, there's like retirement is like the it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's the beginning of a beautiful journey.
New adventure, remember.
Yes.
So many things, it depends how you're reframing or you are actually giving the interpretation. To me, retirement could be the beginning of new adventure.
Yes. And when we have that kind of support, we have good relationships with people, and we actually lived our best, then if things happen that we start losing our loved ones or the people that we care about, then we can cope with it better because we have the strong support of the people that we have showered with love, the people that we have touched, so their lives. So they're going to be there. So relationship is very important. When you go through all these different stages of life, especially during retirement, if you have built strong, loving relationships with the people around you, then you'll be able to cope with anything that
That's right.
comes. Yes.
And yes, I think that's fundamental.
Yes.
If you have the opportunity to build healthy relationships, or if you have not do it today.
Yes.
Don't lose time. Relationships bring you also that well-being, sense of well-being, help you actually to improve your health as well. And more importantly, to have a beautiful life, a happy life.
That's right. So we have tackled the coping strategies already. So don't forget, the second question is, what is one way to cope with these challenges of retirement? And I think we've given you more than one answer, and we're still waiting for a rightful winner. So if anybody of you that's still on the show, please give us the answer.
Give them just a minute, but in the meantime, we can just let them know where they can find us if they were not able to, connect into the program today.
Well, they can put in the answer in the Lawin Media Network Facebook page. If you missed to give the answer to the other question, because we already have a winner for the first question, and she's Myra Perez Gonzalez from the Philippines. For the second question, if you can still, there, congratulations. Yes. For the second question, you can always put your answer in our Facebook page, Lawin Media Network. And the first person that will give the right answer will be the winner.
And in the meantime, remember where they can find us just in case that they missed the program today.
Oh, of course, they can find us on different podcasts. We forgot about that. But you can listen to our recorded show at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and
Stitcher, Pandora as well. Food Plots, Podcast Addict. I don't know what. I should never forget this one. Podcast Addict, and also Pocket Cast.
Yes, so we have over 15 podcast channels that you can listen to us if you missed the live show.
And please share, because we live in a noise, so many people that I'm sure they will be, it will be beneficial to hear this kind of information. We are here to truly add value to your life.
Yes.
So it will be our pleasure to continue just growing and just, expand this type of programs in where people can actually participate, get some answers, but also create relationship, because that's what is also important to us.
Yes, we're here for you. We're here to share our stories and to share our wisdom and thoughts and ideas, and hopefully that can impact you in a very positive way. And again, for our next episode, we're going to go on episode 6 next.
And that's going to be very important.
Yes, we're talking about divorce. Yes, the challenges of divorce. I know it's a very common, topic too, and there are
very
people out there.
Very challenging.
There are people out there that need guidance, and we will have a special guest. Yes, and she's an attorney. She's an attorney, a divorce attorney. So join us for our next episode next Monday.
Important to share. If you know any person who is going through divorce, invite them to tune next Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yes. So, oh my goodness, are we done? Yeah, it's already the end of the show. So thank you all so much. We just flew in. Like the time just went by so fast with our episode tonight. And again, We thank you all for watching us. To all those who participated, thank you so much. And again, every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be bold.
Why not?
See you next time.
Bye-bye. Have a wonderful evening.
Yes.